Hi guys, and welcome back. Two videos in one day. Would you believe it? Seriously, I'm on a roll. It's nice to catch up though and do two videos. Obviously, the first one a little bit earlier. If you wasn't here at the time, it was talking about the Premier League kits of this season. Obviously, this season's kits have all been released, the home shirts anyway, and that's what we went through. We give them a rating. People were giving them 5 out of 10. 2 out of 10 for some even had 0. So do go back to that video and check it out. Please also, if you are new around here, do like and subscribe to the channel. It really does mean a lot. It helps out and it gives us more chance to provide better content for the people that want to view it. So if that's what you're into, please do give us a sub and please do tune into us. We'll take a few comments to start with. Obviously, everybody is already here in the hizzles, so we will take a few comments. First up, Chris says, before you comment, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe. And he's hit the nail on the head. The missus has said exactly the same thing. They're on it. These guys are they? Give a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, turn on the notifications so you never miss out on my gorgeous mush. Oh, she's nice at times. And yet, as she also says, get your predictions in the comments section for this upcoming season of where you think certain teams are going to finish. So, yeah, it will be good. Obviously, let's see. As those two guys have said as well, you can find us at Turf Morehouse on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. We'll be there at Anchor as well. Sorry, I forgot Anchor. I mean, the one that shares it all out. So, yeah, please do go and follow us on everything. It would really mean a lot. Mark says, big up, Dan. Big up yourself, Mark. Thanks for tuning in again. And Kit, big up to yourself as well. Mrs. Hey, we are back. She's saying hey. Deep down, she's probably annoyed that we're having to. I'm sat downstairs now. The kid's in bed, and that's it. I'm downstairs doing vlogging as well. So TV's on mute. Not much to do, but hey ho, she can. As she said, she can stare at my gorgeous mush. Doug, good evening. Thank you again for tuning in. Really does mean a lot. That's what it is, Chris. And I knew you'd come up with something like that. Filth, old man filth. That. But yeah, we are here to talk about the predictions of what I personally think how the league will go next season. First of all, I will touch on the fact that we are doing a charity event coming up. And it is for Pendleside Hospice, who do absolutely wonderful things in the local community. They organise a lot of charitable events. The link is in the description, as it was in the last video as well. Please do give what you can. Help us raise a bit of money for those. Personally, they helped out with my granddad during cancer and supported my nana even after his passing. So please do show some support. It means a lot to myself, to my partner, and to thousands of others as well, because without their help, sometimes, when you're alone, it's hard to deal with. So, yeah, please do support us where you can. Now that that's out of the way, shall we get into the main thing? I mean, first of all, Mark, let's just if that's what you're going for, that's what you're going for. But we'll see what we'll get people's reactions. Nice one, Ashley. Nice one. So Ash is also on the pub crawl as well. So whatever you do, no matter who you sponsor, no matter who you support, all that money is going to Pendleside Hospice. So obviously you'll be supporting myself, my partner, other people that we know, Ashy himself. And yeah, it'll be really great. Doug, yeah, I'll send that straight after the video. That really means a lot. So thank you very much on behalf of everybody that's doing this pub crawl and the hospice. So yeah, please do. I will message you. Thank you very much for that. So where would you prefer to start? Do you want to do it from 20th going upwards, or from the league winners all the way down to relegation fodder? The call is yours. I mean, personally, I think we should work from the bottom to the top and see how we get on. But it's totally up to you guys. Mark, yep, I will drop it to you as well. No problem. Thank you very much for your support. I mean, Mark has helped a lot with the channel as well. He's literally done sent a lot of people over my way, and it's helped grow the channel. So a very big thank you to him. So please do go check him out. Go check Doug's channel out as well. He's saying 20th upwards. Chris says, if I sponsor you, or you just keep walking, mate. What? I don't. The only place I like walking to is the fridge. That's about it. That is about it. So this is going to be a challenge in itself. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, you're a cheeky bugger, you. Top to bottom, says Chris. There's always one who has to be different. I was thinking 20th upwards, so we'll go for that. So let's have a look at what we've got. First of all, I'll be reading a lot this year. Hey, trust me, mate. Bring them in. Bring them in. The support is more than appreciated. And yeah, please do. As I say, Mark, big up yourself and thank you for tuning in. So let's work our way up then. Who do you guys think we are going for in 20th? I mean, this was tough to call. I sat at least for a good hour debating where to put teams. I chopped and changed a few teams around, but I'm starting off 20th position, Norwich City. Now, Norwich for me haven't really got enough, just enough quality in the ranks. To be honest with you, I think they lost Ben Godfrey a few seasons back now. Max Aarons will probably get a move at some point. Todd Cantwell's linked with a move to Villa. They're losing some pretty big hitters, and you're asking Pookie to sort of hit that vein of form that he had the last time they was in the Premier League. So it's going to be a really tough season for Norwich. So for me, Norwich sitting 20th. Mark says Norwich 0 points. I mean, it's that's a statement in itself, isn't it? I mean, anybody that gets worse than Derby's points total is terrible. But yeah, Doug says 20th Norwich as well, which is all good. It's all good. Moving on, I've gone for Watford in 19th. Now, I've not really seen much of what Watford are doing. Again, they've got Ben Foster in goal, who's he's still a decent keeper, don't get me wrong. Obviously, they've got Ismail Assar. If he doesn't move before transfer deadline day, I will be very surprised. He's a really good player. I'm surprised he didn't get a move to the Premier League last season. But yeah, Watford are in there as well. I just think that, Troy Dean is at that age where he's getting a bit past it. Obviously, I'm not sure what the situation is with Andre Gray and a few other players, but I've not really seen much of Watford's transfer business as well. To see how it's going. Doug says Rashika one to watch for them next season. Yeah, for Norwich, I completely forgot about Rashika. He's a nice pacey forward. It depends if he can cut it straight away in the Premier League. That's the big question, as you say. Maisie is here. Hey Dan. Hey Maisie, how are you? Thanks for tuning in. Everybody, like I said, go check out Maisie's channel. She's going to be doing some content soon. Mark says, joking, not 0 points, haha, but 20th. And yeah, Milo Rashika is decent. Maisie also says, for me, Norwich, Watford and Newcastle to be relegated. Doug says 19th, Watford. And Doug says also they have 9 strikers, the Watford. I mean, they've still got that Joao Pedro as well, haven't they? And he's only a young lad, but he's a bit like Fabio Silva at Wolves, where if he gets a good run of games, he could potentially be a key player for Watford. But I just think this year Watford are going to struggle. They've just come back up. We'll just see what they do. But 19th is where I've gone for. Charlie, big up yourself. Thank you for tuning in. MCAFC Hibs. Please do go check out Charlie's channel. He does a lot of Man City content. Sorry. Please do go check him out. Good content creator. Please just head on over there. Give him a sub. Would mean a lot for him and his channel. In 18th, I have gone for Brighton and Hove Albion. Now, I may get stick for this one. I may get a lot of stick for this one. But everybody, season in, season out, goes on about Graham Potter and this amazing football. Now, if anything happens to Graham Potter, if there's any sackings in the Premier League, if he takes over at a different club, Brighton will be in dire straits. Even if not, it could just be a case of that it just doesn't work out for Brighton this season. I just seem to think Brighton have been flirting around that area a while now. There's been a few teams down there, but I just need to know. Not I need to know. Sorry, I just think that this is the season where potentially Brighton could cease to exist in the Premier League. No other reason really. Obviously, what you guys are saying. Cheers, Dan. No problem, Charlie. Anytime. 19, is that how many managers? Well, potentially. I mean, you know what Watford are like. They change the managers more than you change your underpants, Chris. And you've got an incontinence problem. So that's quite a bit, quite a lot. 18th, Brighton. That's my 3 to go down. Danny Welbeck had just been injured too, out until the next international. But exactly, Doug. Exactly. I just see Brighton having a bit of a stinker of a season, and it was a tough choice for 18th, between 18th, 17th, and 16th. Really, who gets that last spot for relegation? But as you can see there, guys, Norwich, Watford, and Brighton are the 3 sides being relegated to the Championship. Just staying up by the skin of their teeth, however, is Steve Bruce's Newcastle United. Now, I think that Newcastle have enough in the bag. If they can keep St. Maximin fit, keep him playing, even if he is just springing from the bench to get results, then brilliant. I think Newcastle will do something in those sort of terms. Box says, I think Brighton could be about 12th if they get a centre forward, but if they don't, you could be about. Yeah, it's a tough one. As I said, Neil Maupay is he's all right, but he needs a good season. But again, as you said, they need a decent centre forward. Ankit says good picks till now, in my opinion. Yeah, I just do think that Newcastle, they've been flirting again. One of those sides flirting around that area. Can Steve Bruce keep them up? A lot of Newcastle fans doubt it. Doug's gone for Brentford 17th, but they'll be fun to watch. To be fair, originally I did have Brentford in there as the team in 17th, but I just seem to think that what they have going on behind closed doors in terms of the sports science and looking at bringing the players in and things like that, they'll do all right, and they have to make up for a good season with that disastrous kit. At least then it fits a purpose. If it's a disastrous kit and a disastrous season, then you feel for Brentford. So yeah, Newcastle in 17th is a tough choice, but one that I think Newcastle fans with that position would wave bye to Bruce, and hopefully they get a better manager in who could send Newcastle on to the next level. Another team that I thought could be in and around there, especially now with the sale of Danny Ings, is Southampton. Now, Southampton clearly were whipping boys last season for Leicester and Manchester United. Both teams beat them 9-0. I mean, how Ralph Hasenhüttl last season kept his job after those 2 results is beyond me. I just think that Southampton, again, are another side a bit like Brighton. They stay there by the skin of their teeth. And yeah, 16th position, I think is a decent position for Southampton. You guys are saying, Doug says 16th Burnley. I'll take that. I'd take that. But yeah, I'd have to say 16th for Southampton. I would take it though, Doug. Don't get me wrong. I mean, another season in the Premier League for me is great, but You'll see where I put Burnley. Don't worry. You can rule out Premier League champions now. We're not doing a Leicester. Chris also says, have I missed Man United yet? No, we're not that far, Chris. Not that far. Box says, all depends on them replacing Ings' goals. Yeah, he was a big player. He's a big player. Will they get Adam Armstrong? Another one? I mean, it'd be brilliant if they did. I hope he goes to Southampton as a bit of a stinker. It seems Blackburn. If I was to do a championship prediction, I think Blackburn are going to get relegated to League One, and that's not just out of hope. I just don't think they've done much really under Tony Mowbray this pre-season. But we won't get into them. Enough about that riffraff. The Leicester and the United 9-0 games with different seasons are right. Then I stand to be corrected. Either way, over different seasons, 2 9-0 losses. That's massive score. That's a massive scoreline. So yeah, we'll just see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. But Ralph Hasenhüttl is another one that could be up there for one of those managers that loses his job. Obviously, you can't rule out Watford for the way they get rid of managers on the weekly, to be honest. Are they not getting Adam Armstrong? Potentially, I think so. It's in the pipeline, isn't it? So let's see what happens. Southampton keep selling their players. It might catch up with them. Yeah, I agree. That's why I say 16th. Between Southampton, Newcastle, Brighton, for down there, it was so hard to choose. It was so easy going from, I say so easy, but it was easier to go from 1 to 20. But then when you get to about 14th, you struggle. So yeah, Southampton sit in 16th position. Going on to 15th. Now, I have gone for a surprise package in Brentford. Now, don't quote me on this, but I said originally that Brentford, however, are going to go down, and a lot of people slate me for it. But as I've stated, I've looked into Brentford a little bit more. Some of the signings they've made have been decent signings, decent youngsters that could go and be sold on for decent potential, a decent fair whack of money as well. I just think that Brentford will be the surprise package. They have Ivan Toney, who, if they lose him in January or an injury or something like that, it's definitely one that could kill them, kill their season off. But yeah, I've gone for Brentford in 15th. And as I say, they're the lucky package. Doug's gone for Southampton. Fair shout. Aya is a huge signing from Celtic. He'll be great. Yeah, exactly. That's someone I was looking at. Christopher Aya is an absolute astute signing. Someone that I'd have loved Burnley to go in for if we was to have lost James Tarkowski. Not sure what's happening on that matter yet. But he was someone that I was hoping Burnley would have gone in for. But yeah, huge signing. And there was somebody else as well that Connor from Yank Talking Smack was telling me about Burnley should have gone for, and he's signed for Brentford as well. But yeah, as I say, there's some really good signings. Whether they work, whether it gels. I mean, Christopher Ayer and Pontus Jansson at back are two huge lads, so people are going to struggle against those two if they can connect and get it right. So that's Brentford in 15th. Now, 14th, I have gone for Crystal Palace. Now, again, Palace, for me, were one of those sides I thought, yeah, they could drop. But some of the signings that Patrick Vieira has made have been quite astute. They are some good, decent young players coming through. I just think if Patrick Vieira can get this right, then they're onto something with Palace. They're a bit of a sleeping giant. They slip under the radar. Yes, okay, they've been flirting around that bottom half a lot. But, you can't rule Palace out. They're getting rid of players now that are aging a little bit. They're starting to bring in a bit more youth. They've got the energy of Eberechi Eze. They've got Zaha when he's fit. Palace are missing a decent forward. They really are. Palace get a decent striker in, then they could do something. As Doug says, 14th for Newcastle he's gone for, and he says that Palace, they always get results where you least expect them to. They do. They get results at like Chelsea or, City and stuff like that, and you just think, where? Why? How's that come about? As Boxer Sanderberg maybe for Brentford, I'm guessing. But yeah, Palace do make good signings from the Championship. You've got Mark Guehi, who didn't they sign him from Chelsea, or was he sold to Swansea before Palace brought him in. Either way, as you said, they've brought some good signings in from the Championship or who were on loan in the Championship last season. So yeah, Palace in 14th. Now, I've put Burnley 13th. Now, a few reasons for this is I just think that with an unbeaten pre-season, we have had 6 games, 6 wins. It's nothing. I can't look into that, to be fair, because you can't base anything on that. But yeah, I just have a feeling we're going to have a really good season this season. Now, usually a decent preseason means you're going to have a stinker of a season. Now, I hope that hoodoo isn't true, but there is a good chance that potentially could happen. I just think that if Dash can get 1 or 2 more players in before the transfer window, then 13th, a nice, healthy mid-table position is brilliant for Burnley. But I won't touch on Burnley for too long. I know it's a Burnley channel, but we'll take a few comments. Box says, surprise Palace got that Anderson guy. Yeah, him from Lyon that was on loan at Fulham last season. Absolutely brilliant defender. I thought he would have gone on to somebody a little bit better. But yeah, at Palace, I mean, good signing for Patrick Vieira. Doug's gone for Crystal Palace in 13th. Not a bad shout at all, mate. Not a bad shout. I've always said that for me, Burnley sitting in 13th would be respectable, be healthy enough. It's probably where Burnley deserve to be. Again, similar to like somebody said earlier about Palace. I just think that we end up grinding results out and just getting something out of the season, which is decent. Boxers, I think Burnley need a couple of additions. Definitely, mate. Definitely do. A winger and a pacey forward wouldn't go amiss, if I'm honest. But we'll move on into 12th, and we have Everton. Now, obviously, Everton finished in the top 10 last season, but I've gone for 12th this year. I just think that obviously now that Ancelotti's gone, there's a lot of stuff going on. There's the move to Bramley-Moore Docks when that eventually happens. I just think Everton aren't going to play a very similar way to what they have done. Now, there's a lot expected of Everton. Obviously, Moshiri he's expecting results. He's trying to bring in these big hitters. He's brought in Rafa Benitez. And I just think Rafa's got a bit of a challenge on his hands here. Again, 12th, I think, is respectable for Everton. I think, especially if they can have a decent season, finish 12th, next season rebuild, a full season. It should be good. But yeah, 12th. I've not really got much to say about Everton. As I say, 12th, I think, is a healthy finish. 12th, Doug's gone for Wolves. He's gone for a surprise. I've gone for a surprise. Wolves was originally Villa. Yeah, I was toying with that idea, which is what moved me on to my next one, which is 11th. I have gone for Wolves. Now, with Raul Jimenez back, fingers crossed, Wolves would be firing again. Whether they will is a big question, but we'll see what's to come of Wolves. Box going back to Everton says massive challenge. They've gone from signing Ancelotti, Allen, Rodriguez to Townsend, Begovic, and Gray. Yeah, totally agree. But then yet again, maybe those signings could will bring them down to earth again. A lot was expected of these players, and it's not kicked in, and they've not tore up the league. So sometimes stripping it back to basics would be decent for Everton. Doug went for Leeds in 11th. Yeah, I can see that. Box also says Jimenez so key for Wolves. Yeah, massive, absolutely massive. But it's Wolves. They always, another team that always seem to do pretty well. Obviously, it'll be the first season for I think he's called Bruno something or other. I'm not entirely sure. Bruno Lager or something like that. And a Lager now. Anyway, yeah, Bruno is in. He's a manager. I think, did he come from Benfica? I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, Wolves in 11th, I think, is a solid finish for them. Moving on to the top 10. Now, I have put West Ham in 10th. The reason for this is, okay, last season they had a brilliant season. They have got Europa League, and that will derail them a little bit. Yeah, like Doug says, Bruno, is it Lager or Bruno Lager? God knows, Bruno. But yeah, he's the new manager of Wolverhampton Wanderers. Rich says, "Hi, Rich. Have I missed Arsenal? Who misses Arsenal? I don't even think Molina misses Arsenal, let alone flaming anybody else. But no, you haven't missed Arsenal. Not just yet. Not just yet. But they are coming up, so do stand by. Talk, big up yourself. Hope you're okay. Thank you for tuning in. As yourself, Rich, as well. Box says West Ham haven't reinvested in their squad by the keeper. Lost Lingard too, but kept Rice. And Doug has gone for 10th for Everton. Yeah, again, I could see that. Rich, no, they wasn't lower than 10th. They wasn't lower than 10th. They are still in with a shout at top 10, but we'll, as I say, we'll get to that. Box does make a very good point. They lost Lingard. But yeah, I just think that a Europa League will spur them on a little bit, as much as it will also derail their season. I can't see them having such a success like they have done. It will be difficult, as we know. It can really sort of set you off, especially if you've got a depleted squad. So West Ham do need to start bringing some people in if they want to do something. Rich says he thinks West Ham struggle this season. So, I'm an Arsenal fan, to like her. Nah, you're not kidding. You're not kidding. But yeah, 10th place for West Ham. Now, in 9th, I have gone for the Arsenal. Now, you can slate me for putting them in the top 10. You can do what you like. But I've gone for 9th. I just think that they find a way of staying in the top 10 somehow. It's just Arsenal, isn't it? You don't know what you're going to get. Box says, I think West Ham are on the verge of a takeover. I mean, they've been screaming for it for a long time. So to get Sullivan and the other guy out would be massive for their fan base. So we'll see how that goes over the coming weeks and months. Doug has gone for 9th for West Ham. See, we're not far off really in our predictions, are we, Doug, really? I mean, there's only been like 1 or 2 positions between it. Who knows? As we say, it's only predictions. Guys, do get your comments in. Do let us know what you think position-wise, they will be. But yeah, we have, obviously, 9th is Arsenal for us. And yeah, just there's not much you can say about Arsenal. I was toying between the idea for 9th and 8th. But I think Spurs still do have a little bit more quality there in terms of finishing a position higher in 8th. I think even without Kane, I think Son, who's the new guy that's coming, is it Galena or something? I mean, Nippon says 9th West Ham. That background is too good for Arsenal. Box, Arsenal got a lot of players on contracts, 150 plus a week, and they're not even in Europe. I agree. Nippon says Arsenal 11th. Where did you put Burnley? I put Burnley as 13th, Rich. I just thought, to be fair, that 13th is a respectable position, and if we can do something and grab a few more additions before the end of the season, before the end of the transfer window, then we will have a respectable position in 13th. Chris says we'll be lower without Kane. Now, I can see it. Don't get me wrong. I can see that. But I just think Tottenham may have a little bit of an incident, a bit like Denmark in the Euros. They miss a key player, like somebody like Christian Eriksen. And then in the next breath, the team rallies together and ends up having a decent season. So who knows what's going to happen with Spurs. As I say, they've still got Son and a few decent players in there. So, yeah, Spurs at 8th for me. Doug says he went for 8th Arsenal. Box says, I'm surprised they're getting Romero. He was best defender in Serie A last year. Rich says fair, probably. Nippon says hot take, Tottenham 6th. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, Spurs in 8th. Now, as Doug said earlier, his surprise package in that position was Wolves. And I'm guessing he's gone very similar when he said it could have been Villa. So I have gone for 7th position, Aston Villa. Now, some of the signings they have made, I think, obviously, most importantly, needs to gel. It needs to work. If it doesn't, then there's massive problems for Villa. They have lost such a key player in Jack Grealish, but the players they brought in, like Leon Bailey, Danny Ings, Buendia from Norwich, I think are really solid players. Getting them to play together will be key. And if that pays off, then 7th would be a remarkable, decent season for Aston Villa and Dean Smith. Doug says in 7th he's gone for Spurs. Mrs. said completely off topic because she's had to go and pick her mum up from work. Nippon says, how do I get to Burnley on public transport? There is no way I'm driving there again. It would be train from London to Manchester, Manchester to Burnley. That's the easiest way I could suggest it. But 6th Nippon, Cantwell could be the new Grealish. Yeah, if Cantwell goes there, again, another player that wants to, that could potentially make that move to Aston Villa. Rich says, you want to go back? I mean, of course he wants to come back. I mean, 1, I'm here. 2, it's Burnley. 3, I mean, well, I've just seen Nippon's comment. I mean, we haven't got a mega store. We've got a club shop. But yeah, I mean, I'll take it. Oh, come on, Chris, you'd come back to Burnley in an heartbeat. It'll be better for the business anyway. Nippon is moving to Burnley. Yeah. Could you imagine next minute I'm doing a video with Nippon and Connor outside Turf Moor, both closet Burnley fans. But yeah, in 7th, Aston Villa. Aston Villa in 7th. I just think, as you say, it may take some time with the loss of Grealish. We're saying it like he's dead, but he's not. But yeah, some astute signings for Aston Villa. 7th for me is solid. Now, this is my surprise package for how high they finish. Leeds in 6th. I can't believe we've even predicted that, to be quite honest with you. But I've gone for it. I just think that Leeds under Bielsa, you can't rule them out. You really can't. You don't know what sort of season they're going to have. Fingers crossed they have that sort of season where they go down. But I just have this feeling they've managed to keep hold of Calvin Phillips. If they can keep momentum going, who knows what can happen to Leeds. I know they want to be fighting up there again and, be that big club that everyone says they are. I mean, I'm sat here now next to my TV remote, or should I say my Leeds United season ticket. But yeah, 6th for Leeds. Your comments are, let's have a look. So 6th, we have had Ducky. Thanks for joining, Ducky. I hope you're well. United for the title, mate. I don't think their transfer activity is over by a long shot, and the Messi situation this evening could set up a messy wage war between United City, Chelsea and PSG. Who knows? The Messi situation, we will touch on that at the end of this, but yeah, who knows? Who knows who's for the title? 6th, Doug went for Spurs. Ankit has got Villa is interesting. For me, all the new signings, it will take time to gel together. Sometimes it just works straight away, and I don't understand how, but usually you need at least a good pre-season under your belt, and with the season not far away, and Aston Villa still making signings, who knows what's going to happen. Box, Dirty Leeds. Yeah, that's the nicest way of calling them, isn't it? Dirty Leeds. My second team do play in claret and blue, and it's not Burnley. South Shields FC, innit? Trabzonspor in Turkey. I know what you're talking about, Nippon. I know what you're talking about. Was it Drogheader United in Ireland? That must be. Ankit says Leeds as well. I personally doubt so hard, but fair point. Yeah, you just can't rule out with Bielsa, and you know who knows if this is the season where they hit the Hearts. Keeping hold of Phillips will be massive as well. So yeah, Leeds in sixth. Miss says there is two Claret stores, Nippon, which there is. There is one in the town centre and there is one at Turf Moor. You're right, Dan. Leeds will finish top six this season. So at least I've got someone with me that says the same. Box, I don't like Leeds, but as a setup and team, they're great. Yeah, hit the nail on the head, Box. I'm exactly the same. I don't like them. In fact, when we play them, I sort of get a bit not angry, but sort of like every time they touch ball, I'm just like, sort of like it just frustrates me, especially after the games that we had last season. Rich says if you sold your house, you could probably buy Burnley, Nippon. He's got a point. He's got a point. I think I saw somebody on Twitter earlier say, would you rather have a 2-bed flat in London or a 5-bedroomed house in Burnley? I mean, definitely a 5-bedroomed house in Burnley anyway. Chris says fair shout, which is decent. Rich says, I thought Tottenham were your second team, Nippon. I don't think any of us know what Nippon's second, first, even his first team. What's his first team? He's supposed to be Chelsea, but I'm not entirely sure. Ankit says Messi ain't coming to the Premier League, in my opinion. I'm sort of thinking the same thing. I'm thinking it's either going to be PSG or he's off back to Argentina, back to his roots. But we will see. Box says Lukaku to Lukaku to Chelsea, 130 million. Where is this money coming from? It's ridiculous. Duque with a thumbs up. Thank you very much for your support, Duque. Please do stay with us. Big up for that, Rich. Top notch, you guys. Nippon, West Ham, because I'm originally from the East End of London, so they're my second team. Are they Chelsea's rivals? Nippon. Just, yeah. Premier League too competitive for Messi. I mean, people do say Messi's never really cut it in, when it comes to Champions League games against the Premier League side. So who knows? Who knows? Maybe it's just a case of adapting if he was to join a Premier League side. Being the guy that a team's pretty much moulded around at Barcelona, I suppose you've got a bit more freedom. But I say freedom, you've got about 5 or 6 men around Messi, but it still doesn't make a difference. Chris says, so we top 5 then? Well, you certainly weren't in the last 15, mate. So, yep, you're definitely in the top 5. Box says Messi couldn't hack it on a wet night in Brentford. Mate, he couldn't hack it on a dry night in Burnley, let alone flaming. And there's very rarely a dry night in Burnley, to be honest. Everyone's a pisshead. Messi will probably end in PSG. They are going for the Champions League, reuniting with Neymar, potentially. Ankit says Leicester 4th for me, Chris. Mark Jordan Ellis New, thank you for tuning in. Means a lot, Mark. He says, where do you think the Mighty Clarets will finish? And do you think we'll bring any more in? I've predicted us to finish 13th, Mark. I'm not going to lie. I think we'll do decent this season, but as you say, we do need to bring in some more additions. And that Maxwell Cornet that we're linked with looks like it could potentially happen. Who knows? Do stay tuned for that one. But we do need more than just him. As I say, a second choice goalkeeper on a free and a young defender who will be challenging Tarkowski and Ben Mee at the back is it's not enough. Not enough in my opinion. Nippon says, I don't consider West Ham a rival because they don't challenge for trophies. Fair enough. They were higher than Chelsea at one point last season, but they're, hey ho. Leicester always 5th. Need we not say no more, Box? Just dropping some Man United propaganda into your comments, Ankit. Why not, Rich? Go for it. Clarets will finish 15th. Aaron says, cheers for tuning in, as hope you're well. Hope the kids are all right. Worked with Az for a while over in Tomberton. Great guy. Thanks for tuning in, mate. Really does mean a lot. Rich says, you're welcome. A lot of talk about Lukaku, 120 millimeters, not a million euros. I agree with your Leeds prediction, Dan. Yeah, I just think they'll do something there. Don't give up your job at Burnley Tourist Board, Dan. Trust me, that would that'd be decent. I won't mind it. I tell it like it is. Put it that way, Chris. As long as Chelsea fight for the title and win it, I'm good. Well, who knows? Who knows, Ankit? You never know this season. Rich, would you take 15th? Yeah. As I say, it's solid, solid position. Anywhere between 13th and 15th, I'd be happy with. So yeah, I'd take that in a heartbeat. Let's move on to the top 5. So Chris will be wondering where Leicester fit in, and as per usual, they fit there, well and truly in their normal spot of 5th. I just think that obviously the loss of Fofana, who obviously has our thoughts at the moment due to his recent injury. Hope he makes a speedy recovery, but hope it's after any Burnley games anyway. But yeah, Leicester in 5th. It's meant to be, isn't it? It's meant to be. The in-betweeners did wonders for Burnley's reputation. No, it didn't. No, it really didn't. I mean, getting Burnley a mention, yeah, brilliant. But did you see the reprobates at the back of the bus? I mean, it's just, like Chris said, the tourist board thing. I don't think any of them were from Burnley. It was more of an Aki accent, an Accrington accent. So, yeah, we'll see anyway. Doug says, 5th, wait for it, controversial alert, Chelsea. I can't believe you put Chelsea in 5th, Doug. I can understand why. It's a case of, will it all work out? Will Timo Werner actually start firing on all cylinders? They can't rely on Giroud coming in for 2 or 3 games to get him a wonder goal from nowhere. So yeah, I can understand why you put them 5th. As Rich says, Leicester always 5th. Chris, to be honest, for the 3rd season in European football, again, I'd take that. Not going to lie. Yeah, it isn't a bad position at all, is it? I do think that you're consolidating there at the moment with the amount of money that's being spent by Manchester City. United have brought in Varane once it's announced fully. Obviously, you've brought in Sancho. Who knows? But yeah, Leicester 5th, I think, is a solid position. Leicester 5th for 3 years in a row shows great consistency, to be fair. It really does. It really does. Owen, hope you're well. People, do go check Owen out. I know if you're a Burnley fan in here and you're seeing the name Owen Coyle, now I understand that you're probably a bit like, I beg your pardon. It's definitely not that Owen Coyle. It's not the tosser Owen Coyle. It's a decent Owen Coyle. It's decent for a United fan anyway. So yeah, do go check Owen's channel out. And yeah, as I say, we're all content creators, so please do head on over there, show your support. Ankit, wow, Doug, I thought you were my friend, lol. By the way, I have Liverpool at 5th. Coincidence? Well, it seems you can both battle it out for 5th, Liverpool and Chelsea. Rich says, will Tuchel survive the season? Another one. Another tough question. I mean, Nippon, Ankit, what do you think? What are your thoughts? Do you think he'll survive the season? 15 other clubs would swap places with us, methinks. 100%. 100%. Ankit says, not if we're 5th in December, but I trust in Tuchel. United bottling, bringing in a CDM at typical United. It's fine. It's fine. I think Ollie's looking at it the same way that Pep looks at Champions League finals. We don't need a CDM. Ducky says, Timo Werner would struggle to score an own goal, never mind put one in the right net. I mean, people do think he's still got time to come good. But we will see. Got us a Champions League and is far more experienced than what Di Matteo was. He was, but Di Matteo did something that a lot of managers that were of higher class couldn't do, which is great. Nippon thinks that Tuchel will stay. Average lifespan of a Chelsea manager, though, I agree with that. And it says just won 2 Champions Leagues, 2 Europa Leagues in 9 years. Still, people hate Chelsea. We love it. Can't beat it. Theo, Liverpool 5th. Going to have to quote Roy Hodgson. Let's not take the piss here. Theo, honestly, thanks for tuning in, mate. It does mean a lot. As I have said numerously, please do go check out the content creators that are in the chat. It really does mean a lot. A lot of them do create their own content, and it is absolutely fantastic that we're all supporting each other in this community. So please do go ahead over there and check them out. Theo is a brilliant young lad, smashing the scene for Liverpool on YouTube. So do go ahead over there, show him some love. But yeah, I don't have Liverpool in 5th. Obviously, I have Leicester in 5th, but we'll see who we have in 4th in a moment. Ankit says Werner 24 goal contributions in all comps in his first Premier League season will improve. Let's hope for your sake. In 4th place, we have Chelsea. We have gone for Chelsea in 4th place. Now, you know, Mark's the same. Yes, and me. Theo says, cheers, mate. Not a problem at all. Honestly, great guy. As I say, guys, please do go check Theo out. Ankit, top man down at 13 watching, deserves all of that, guys. I appreciate that you're all tuning in. It really does mean a lot. So, yeah, please do like the video. Please do subscribe to the channel. It really does mean a lot. And the more we do this, the more people that tune in, the better we can make things. How many goals did Timo Werner score? I'm not entirely sure. Are you talking about for Leipzig or Chelsea? But Doug's gone for Leicester in 4th. Now, yeah. Again, Doug, I can see, you know, we have gone very similar. Again, you know, Chelsea, Leicester, the opposite way around, so to speak. Kate, the partner, has said, remember to subscribe, guys, which is brilliant. Please do. It does mean a lot for the channel. No way, 4th, Dan. Come on, at least 3rd, but I'm confident of 1st and 2nd. I just think you need that little bit more. I think you need that little bit more. So, I don't know. I've been toying with the idea of putting Chelsea higher. I really did, but I just can't see it. I can't see it. And I agree with Doug. It was, you know, Doug says, Anki, it was a bold decision. It was a bold decision. Anyone in this top 4 could have been in those positions, and it's a battle, isn't it? Are we going to have a season where it's close between the top 4, or is it going to be where there's 2 runaways? Who knows? Who knows? As says, I think it's between. Pardon me. There we go, Chris. Have your little do it. I burped. Well done. But as did say, I think it's between Chelsea and City this season. It very well could be. It very well could be. Who knows how it will go as? But who do you think will win it outright if you were to put money on it? If you had 50 quid in your hand now and somebody said pick a team to win it, who would it be? Rich says, how much did he cost? It's how much he's costing them while he's there, to be honest. He's done naff all for what he's brought in. Werner's got 6 in the Prem, 6 in other comps, including Champions League, and 12 assists in all comps. Sometimes it's not all about the goals, is it? It's not all about the goals, but we will see. We will see. Ducky thinks he scored 6 as well. Box said he cost 50 million. As I said, I think it's between Chelsea and City to win the league, especially if they sign Lukaku. Will it work, though? Lukaku at Chelsea the first time round didn't work, did it? So will it work a second time? Usually, if it's worked the first time and they bring someone back, you know, he slots in nicely. But we will see. We'll see how it goes. And Ankit says, haha, let's not go there, Rich. Pandemic struck season. What's the excuse for next season, Ankit, if it is going to be bad? Let's see. So your top 3 now. And in 3rd place, we have gone for Liverpool. Now, if Liverpool have a very similar season to what they had last year, where they sort of drop off a little bit, you know, if they can continue the vein of form they had at the end of last season, then Liverpool could storm the league next year. If they keep that up, it's such a case of whether they can, in my opinion. You guys, let me know of your opinion. Ankit says Lukaku wasn't given a fair chance. Danny, he'd fit well, in my opinion. He may fit in well now. I think he really would. Theo has said that we'll take it. I mean, I can just see it. The top three could go either way. The top three really, really, really could go either way. But if you continue that form from last year, if your top goal scorer Alisson keeps bagging, you'll be all right. We're safe as houses up there. Obviously, and it depends on these teams. There's Messi obviously being made available. Mbappe's at some point announced his love to play for Liverpool at some point. Nobody knows the situation with Erling Haaland at the moment. As Boxer says, I hope Haaland doesn't move to City or Chelsea. United could get him next season. Who knows? Who knows? Doug says he went for Manchester United third. Ollie has to win a trophy this season. A League Cup, FA Cup, just needs to win a trophy. Very good point. That is a very, very, very good point. And obviously, not focusing on the league to do that could be vital. So yeah, third, I can totally understand that position. But yeah, third position for Liverpool. They've not really made any signings. Obviously, there was the one fella whose name evades me now. But yeah, he, a defender has come in. Liverpool fans are screaming for some more signings. Fingers crossed they can get some more players in over the line. That's the one, Doug. Ibrahima Konate. Is it Konate? Yeah. Solid little player. Will do really well. Do you think he'll slot in alongside Virgil van Dijk? Or, how do you think he'll fit into that system? Rich says FA Cup minimum for Manchester United. Ankit has said, unless United win the league or Champions League, which I highly doubt, why would Haaland go to United? But yes, depends on the money and manager. Ole, albeit he's Norwegian, doesn't work as much for me. Box, not getting a start in CDM will cost Ollie and United. Theo, I think we'll struggle to have Van Dijk and Gomez 100% fit all season, given they're both just back from huge injuries. If we get a midfielder and maybe an attacker, then I believe we can challenge. That's a really solid outlook, is that, to be honest, Theo. I really like that. Doug says Konate and Matip start the season at Norwich, in my opinion. Which, yeah, that's not too bad. Not too bad at all. Obviously, it's nice to see that players are coming back and getting fit for you guys. But yeah, third for Liverpool. Now, the top two. Who are we going for, guys? Who are we saying? I think it's obvious from what we've been saying, what Doug said as well regarding winning some sort of trophy. Second position, you've won a trophy there, United. Hey, runners up. Hey. Don't slate me. But yeah, I do agree with Doug. Liverpool do need to be careful with Van Dijk. It could really, and Gomez. It really could cost them. But yeah, Manchester United in second. I think second position's another good season. It's again similar to how Leicester finished in fifth again, the third season in a row, fifth season, whichever it was. United second is brilliant. Varane will help. Alongside Maguire. You've got Sancho out on that far side. I agree with what people are saying. All you United fans are saying that it's a CDM. You get a solid CDM, and you could crack it. You could crack it. I mean, who do you guys want if you were to get a CDM? Who would it be? Who would you want at the club? Do you think you'd need to get rid of Pogba to make way? As such, Doug went for second Liverpool. I mean, yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Box says Kane and Grealish replacing Silva and Aguero. I'm not sure what's happening on the Kane situation, but it seems inevitable, doesn't it? But he's still got 3 years left on his contract, hasn't he? I'm not entirely sure. But if they're splashing that sort of cash around, then what's happening with financial fair play? Or has that gone out the window these days? Doug says, as much as I'd like to win the league, I can't see it. Just going back to Red Manx TV, another wonderful Manchester United channel. Go check those guys out. If you are just a generic football fan and you do like other fans' content, do go head over to Red Manx TV, show him some love, and give him a subscription. Doug says, as much as I'd like to win the league, I can't see it. Ankit has said United. If United get a high-class manager, they can fight for the title. Not otherwise, in my opinion. I don't know. I don't know about that. Who would they bring in? More importantly, who would they bring in? Ankit says Danny Drinkwater back to where he grew up, the Man United Academy. Danny Drinkwater needs to go back home to his mum and dad's and be locked away in a room. The guy's an awful footballer. He has literally lost, since winning the title with Leicester, power's gone to his head and he's lost all his footballing ability. So, unlucky. Red Max TV says Ras, Neves, someone like that. Pogba can stay, but I don't see us getting a CDM if he does, which looks likely. Rich says City buying the league again. Nothing new there. Ankit says Grealish had a release clause. Class video by Villa owner just over an hour back on their channel. I must say that is brilliant that their owner has come out and said that. There is a lot of people slating Jack Grealish for the move. It's not Grealish's fault. As a footballer, if you was there and you was being sold that, I mean, take the instance for who was a striker in League Two. I think he finished League Two's top goal scorer. The team he was in got promoted, and now he's just dropped down to non-league to play for Wrexham. He could have been playing League One football. He was last season's League Two top goal scorer, and now he's joined Wrexham. Sometimes I understand that's a bit different because he's dropped. He's not gone a bit further on, and I understand that people could see that for obviously there was money reasons in that, but that down that end of the table, you can understand why. With Grealish, he said that if somebody comes in, there was a release clause there. Somebody hit that release clause. Now he's been at Villa for years. Fair play to the guy. He's done absolutely remarkable for Villa. He's captained Villa, and the fact that the owner's come out and said what he said is absolutely fantastic. It's brilliant. So fair play to Villa for that. Fingers crossed that during that time they weren't, trying to set anybody else, off the radar. Cheers, but no problem. Honestly, it does mean a lot. We're all in this together. So let's just see how we go. Mason 10. How are you, mate? Hope you're well. Thank you for joining. As you can see, we do have Man United in second. I've just joined the live, but where did you put Burnley? We did put Burnley in 13th, pal. 13th, I think, solid, isn't it? Would you agree? A lot of people saying, would you take 15th? I'm sure we would. I mean, one-day Premier League champions. Who knows, mate? Who knows? But thank you very much for tuning in. Box does say it was Paul Mullin. Yes, it was. It was Paul Mullin. That was brilliant, to be fair. Rich says, if Diaz plays like he did for Portugal, it could be quite open. Box, that's what Chelsea and City always do by buying the league. Drinkwater was great in pre-season. He always does. And then all of a sudden, he gets a loan move and it goes to shit. Doug says, Chief Executive Ankit, Chief Executive Christian Burslaw. Yeah. Rich said, buying the Champions League is proving costly for the oil teams. City and PSG over $1 billion each so far. It is. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. What happened to winning a team on merit? I mean, there's one thing I'll say about Man United. They got slated and slammed for playing the kids, when it was the era of the class of 92. And it paid off, didn't it? Sometimes it's not all about, just buying the next big thing. Try, nurture the next big thing instead, in my opinion, and save yourself some money in the long run. Ankit says, I still believe City won't win the Champions League. Ours for now anyways. Doug said, Red Manx TV. Doug has subscribed to your channel. So, as you say, there is going to be some people heading over there, subscribing. So, yeah, look out for that. Possible team to do a Sheffield United. Who's that? Who's the possible team to do a Sheffield United, Rich? Let us know in the comments. And it says Man United are among the highest spenders after Sir Alex Ferguson. It's been a case so for Manchester United, hasn't it, where they've had to spend a bit more money because they want it to work straight away, but it's not going to. Sometimes you do need to wait and bide time. Look at what Alex Ferguson did. You know, they were calling for his head. They were calling for his head at one point, and all of a sudden this remarkable turnaround happened, and you know, all it took was that one result at Forest, and from then it went on, and Alex Ferguson became the sir that he is and the great that he is as a manager. Scott, thanks for tuning in, mate. And another Leicester fan. Villa will be challenging for European places this season. I agree. I did put them in 7th, but yeah, I do think they'll be at least challenging around those positions. Doug says, Rich, in my honest opinion, that was City's best chance to win the Champions League. They won't win it now. Big statement there, Doug. Massive statement. I think there's a lot going on in regards to City, and I think there's a lot of pressure on Pep to deliver that. Would City fans be happy with, you know, finishing 3rd or 4th but winning a Champions League? You know, who knows? Who knows? I think that's the question we've got to be asking Charlie and Patrick and whichever City fans are in the house in here. Chelsea before the money had one title in 100 years. Yeah, back in the days when you had Celestine, Babayaro, and Muzzy, is it? Frank Sinclair, John Harley. You know, they weren't that much. I was trying. By the way, I could have just mentioned, you know, Payet, Waz, Zola, and all that, but I was thinking of players that. Anyway, Box like Spurs. To be fair, do they have any titles? Mason again says, do you think Burnley will confirm the Maxwell Cornet rumours? I bloody well hope so, mate. I really, really do. As I say, he looks like a cracking little player. Scored 4 goals against Man City, so he can't be a bad one, can he, really? So, yeah, watch this space for that one. We'll see how it goes. Scott says, if Man City don't win the Champions League this season, Pep should walk. Where would he go to? Where would he go to? I think with all the shit at Barcelona, he wouldn't go back there. I don't think he could sort that out at the moment. I think it's an absolute nightmare. And who knows the future for Barcelona and what's going to happen. Ankit says to Box, easier said than done, but we also won multiple FA Cups, League Cups, couple of Cup Winners' Cup, and a Super Cup, beating the best teams on their day before 2003. Yeah, just 2003. So, the top dog. We have gone for Manchester City. Now, as you can see, we have predicted them as the Premier League champions. Now, you know, they've signed Jack Grealish. We get that. 100 million, it is a lot of money. But the players they are being linked with, Harry Kane, Erling Haaland, you know, Messi, you don't get those sort of players without, you know, without being a good team. But they are a good team. They've got the quality. But they've had to pay for it over the years. And it's what oil money does in football, isn't it? You know, it's not a business. It's a case of let's just spend. You know, the business model goes out the window. Let's just spend, hope it works. And that's why at first it didn't. You know, when they signed players like Roque Santa Cruz, playing up front with Craig Bellamy, and you know they still had Stephen Ireland in the middle, players like bloody Michael Ball. It was just, you know, absolute nightmare. But they eventually found a formula. They brought in the right players. It gelled, and obviously City. Just another season. Yeah, I agree with you, Mark. I totally agree with you. I'm not going to repeat it, but I do agree with exactly what you said. Ankit says, anyone who has questions about Chelsea's history, I welcome. Also, spending money does not guarantee trophies, as umpteen clubs have seen. Totally agree. Chelsea won it once in 1950s and Tottenham won it in 1961. Oh God, I'm surprised Spurs haven't been talking about it a bit like Blackburn do with their we won the league in '95. No, you did a Man City. You bought it. You bought it. Jack Walker had some money and he bought it. Just leave it there, will you? Stop going on about it. Tin Pot Club. Rich says combined Arsenal have the same number of titles as Chelsea and City combined. Are talking on legal competitions is what I was saying, but if clubs want to sit on their 75 or 100 years old history, they can. I'd rather us win now, but I respect all club guys. I mean, you know, who knows what this season holds? As I say, these are just my predictions. These are just what I predict. Who knows what is to happen? You know, we'll go back from the top again, but we started with City as champions, United finishing as runners-up, Liverpool in third, Chelsea in fourth, Leicester for consecutive years in fifth, Leeds doing a surprise jump up the table into sixth, Villa hunting for European football, Spurs without Kane, who knows how that finishes, Arsenal in the top 10, is that a good season for Arsenal? West Ham going to struggle balancing football, Premier League football and European football. Wolves 11th, Everton in 12th. Nice, comfortable finish in 13th for Burnley. Crystal Palace in 14th. Brentford in 15th if they can keep Ivan Toney fit. Southampton to find a formula and just stay up by the skin of their teeth in 16th. Newcastle again, just scraping it. But the relegated sides are Brighton are going to be the unlucky ones that drop in instead of Newcastle. Watford in 19th and bottom of the league, Norwich. Now, guys, thank you, obviously, for tuning in. It does mean a lot. Let's take a few more comments. Ankit said, great stream, though, Dan. Hope your top three are wrong, though. I mean, I can understand why you'd want that, mate. I really do. But let's see what happens. Box, Chelsea didn't even win the UEFA Cup when they had no money. Ipswich did. Rich, I just hope your top two are wrong. Yeah, they're the wrong way around, Rich. Of course, you'd want that. Mark says United top. Rich says I'll be doing mine in a few days. It might turn out slightly different, just slightly. And Mark, you're Norwich. You mean? Yep, they could become the new West Brom in terms of what they're doing. Scott, yeah, he's only just seen these. Wow, Leeds sixth. I see Villa being fifth or sixth in competition with Leicester, maybe Arsenal in top 10. Yeah, you just don't know what to expect from Leeds. They could have a very good season under Bielsa, so we'll just see how it goes. I mean, guys, what's your thoughts on all this nonsense that's come out about Lionel Messi? Obviously, it's a strange one, isn't it? He was set to sign a new deal, with his wage at 50% less. I read a stat somewhere that if Messi was to join Burnley now, I know he's not going to, but if Messi was to join Burnley, he would still have to take a 90% wage cut, and even then, he would still be Burnley's top earner. I mean, that just speaks volumes for Burnley Football Club, really, doesn't it? But Box says, Rich, it could go all tits up if we lose to Leeds on game week 1. It could. Who knows? To be fair, all the big sides don't really start well, and then they just seem to find their way. Mike says he's doing his day before the season when Messi signs for us. Big up to you. Rich says Messi at CDM. Box says if Messi wanted to prove himself, he'd go to Burnley and win the league. It's like I said in somebody's video before. The Sweet and Sour Soccer. We're two Wolverhampton fans. Brilliant channel. Do go check them out. Show them some love. I said the only person that could get good football out of Lionel Messi in the Premier League is someone like Sean Dyche. And they agreed. Which I don't know whether they were just trying to keep me sweet. But yeah, tough opening game. It really is. Messi is back up to Diallo. Messi just wants money. I think that's pretty obvious. We will see. Who knows where Lionel Messi will end up. As I say, I think anybody would take him at their club. Personally, I think it's either PSG or back to Argentina. guys, thank you for tuning in. It does mean a lot. As I say, please do remember to like and subscribe to the channel. It's nice to have you all here, showing your support, showing your love. As I said, the link is in the description for all our socials: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. I will be putting the links in soon enough for Spotify and other things like that. But thank you guys for tuning in. Please do like and subscribe. Please do hit the link in the description. Show us some support. Mark, I'll drop you a message. Doug, I'll drop you a message as well, as you said. And we will go from there. Thank you guys for your support. It really does mean a lot. I've been Dan, always will be, and speak to you guys soon.